grand finals now. So if you are just tuning in, that it was the result from just a couple from an hour ago or so even. Complexity did take out TT Esports 2-0 in their best out of 3 series. So now here we have our second semifinals, and of course it means which team will win here to face Complexity in the finals. And the losing team, however, they still will have a match to play. They're going to be in the 3rd place match, and there's still a lot of money on the line for the 3rd place match. I mean, it's still $8,000 for 3rd compared to $4,000 for 4th. So it's a $4,000 difference. There's plenty of money on the line there. So, but obviously that 1st and 2nd place, that's where you really want to be, especially that 1st place, not only to play in DreamHack Arena, but also, of course, the prestige of being a DreamHack champion and all that prize pool as well. So a lot is on the line here, but this ORGE Esports team especially, again, they have the experience from the previous DreamHack. They no doubt have taken that experience going into this one, and I'm expecting some great things out of them, as we've already seen in the group stages. They even beat Complexity, of course. They went 1-1 against Complexity, and that's why they're even here in the first place. But Trademark Esports, they also have been looking very good themselves, so anything can happen.
Yeah, I do think so. And I want to give a big shout out to whoever was in the audience. I don't know if you're still out there, but they made this little shrunken head for me.
For your trial seal of approval right there.
That's right, for my seal of approval. And he has my seal of approval with this thing.
There you
so
go.
I'm going to keep that right there as a tribute to you.
Whoever that guy is gets your trial seal of approval.
There you go.
With that said, though, ORGE Esports Malaysia, you know what? Obviously coming here from Malaysia, and it's great to have them here, representing more of that world scene that's been so great with this Hong competitive here for DreamHack winter 2012. Let's actually take a look once again at ORGE Esports and see, how much fun they actually have being here.
My name is Jun Leong Lo from Malaysia, and I'm WTF, and I play for ORGE Esports. I play hard carry.
我的名字叫水鱼，我的 role 在 in game 里面是打 support 的。
我是 Wyman Lee， 我的 IGN 是 Mr. Ghost， 我是玩 support 还有Forest 的 hero。
我的名字是孙云峰，我的 IGN 是 SSF， 我是玩实赛的。
My name is Lian Xiong. IG name is Wang Wang. My role is solo mid. Others killer lane.
我觉得这个 event 很好啊，而且我觉得我很幸运来到这里，我可以展示到很好这个。
It feels good coming back for the 2nd time.
DreamHack 让我觉得比 DreamHack Summer 还要做得还要好。
我们会尽我们的能力去打败每个敌人。
I think it's COL in our group and Gary Johnson.
我会一雪前耻，把我所有的遗憾还给他们。
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. ORGE Esports Malaysia. Again, they're having a lot of fun being here, but clearly they are here to win. They're here to surprise, really, I think it's safe to say, everyone out there. Not only make the finals, but maybe even take this whole thing. They are looking really good, but they, of course, have a strong opponent ahead of them in Trademark Esports. So this should be, as you said, I too think this will be a very evenly matched up best of 3. You can argue that this is the better of both of the semifinals, definitely, and expect to have a lot of fun here. Trademark Esports, though, specifically Zai on Trademark Esports. I mean, the dude, he's 15 years old. I mean, I can't believe that. I was playing when I was 15 years old, but not anywhere on this level, of course, as far as competitive gaming goes. So it's just ridiculous to think that, but he's been making some big plays, no doubt, for tdM.
Yeah, I talked about Wang Wang and XXF from ORGE Esports, how I think they're kind of the standout players, at least right now, for ORGE Esports in this event, from what I've seen. But you mentioned it, man. Zai, he seems like he hasn't had a bad game in a long time. In this event, when we see him run that suicide roll and become the top farmer in just like 20 minutes or something, on a hero like Wretched Hag, which I still think, regardless of how well he's doing, I still think is not a good suicide hero, but still somehow finds a way to get all that farm and to just carry it to the late game. So Zai, and he always has some funny item pickups too, just to add a little bit more fun to the game.
It's funny at the same, but it works. I mean, it's these trollish, whatever you want to call it, fun pickups, but it works in the end. I mean, they're victorious. They're obviously on a high level, and here they are, a chance to go to the finals, but a tough opposition, of course, in ORGE Esports Malaysia. With that said, game number 1 has officially started. Who out there is ready to watch some Heroes of New Earth? Let's go. That's where we go. There we go. Here we go. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into game number 1 here. We have Trademark Esports, of course, going to be on the Legion side. ORGE Esports Malaysia on the Hellborn side. So, and the blind bands, in fact, happening. Tremble, Parasite coming out from tdM. Ophelia, Demented Shaman coming out from Orange Esports, and we are flying through this actually right off the bat.
Wow, yeah, look at that Gemini lock actually from Minos. We haven't seen a troll lock from him or really anyone in a long time, but yeah, look at that. All of those junglers -1 from Gemini. I told you, man, it's all about junglers and suicides in that lockpick pool. It creates a much easier time of forming your lanes and whatnot. So
yeah,
these top tier teams, they realize that, and we see that time and time again.
Yeah, both of these teams have been doing plenty of research. In fact, I walked back there and looked at both teams while they were just setting up, preparing for this match. And of course, both teams going over some replays, looking back, really preparing for this matchup specifically. Again, knowing what is on the line. The winner here will face Complexity in the grand finals. The losing team, of course, dropping into the third place match where they'll play against TT Esports. But flying through once again, we have yet to dip into extra time. The banning stage, we are looking at Draconis, Pebbles, Moon Queen, Tundra, Fade, and there's the Zephyr ban with the final ban. So now first pick going to be coming up for Trademark Esports. We'll see what MyNuts decides to choose here. As always, plenty of options. You got your Luna standing up, maybe the Silhouette as well. Magnus, he's been, you even consider him a very, very high-tier hero now.
Yeah.
It is going to be Silhouette, though, as the first pick coming out for TDM.
Silhouette seems to be the trademark, hero for TDM. They love to run it in that short lane and then run some kind of aggressive dual lane in the mid. And that, I'm no surprise right there with the Silhouette pickup from TDM, but a very snap pick from Mr. Ghost. Magnus Engineer, there you go. So Luna's still on the board. Right-click Glacius over on TDM, but yeah, Magnus Engineer to start things off for Orange Esports. Pretty damn strong. Yeah,
I'm sure Mr. Ghost was very happy to see both of those heroes still left open for his first two picks. So picks him up and not spending too much time. Again, neither team is so far. Magnus Engineer sure enough very strong. Silhouette, again, the first pick so far for TDM. Now their next two picks going to be coming up. They've been Insania at least is right-clicking that Glacius here for a little bit. So we'll see if, again, MyNuts decides to go with the Glacius pick and oblige Insania. Of course, he is their support player, so most likely would be the one playing him. But, you got a Luna, of course, as well. That's another option as far as that support role goes. And of course, you even got an Amphora. We haven't seen a whole lot of her, though, in this. She's been on and off, I guess. So not too crazy. Moon Queen, though, is banned. Again, this Moon Queen hero really has stepped up. Now, Zephyr, not so much of a surprise, but still kind of interesting. But Moon Queen really has been the surprise once again of this event. Meraxis going to be that pick right there from TDM, though. And now, and Glacius, sure enough, is going to be the final one on top of that.
Yeah, Insania was right-clicking both those heroes. I'm sure they were discussing whether they wanted Meraxis or Luna, Meraxis Glacius. I think Meraxis Glacius is the stronger of the two. You would think Luna would be stronger, especially against Magnus Engineer, if they are going to go heads up in that duel lane against them. Bubbles to be finally picked up here in the regular picking stage from Orange, but Glacius, Meraxis, you can catch them easier. Yes, Glacius is a little bit more squishy, I want to say, but I just think that lane comp is much stronger. There we go. Given Zai his Wild Soul, that's always a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, of course, they first locked it right off the bat. They've definitely had that in mind. As far as first picking that Wild Soul, it's just a snaps pick out of the lockpicking stage. Zai on Wild Soul, that is not a player-hero combination you want to face. Unfortunately for Orange Esports, they are going to have to go up against it. Now, granted, they do have plenty of options themselves. I mean, hell, you could run, of course, that Tempest Keeper of the Forest, and we talk about that all the time. So something tells me maybe the Warbeast, though.
Actually, I mean, Tempest Keeper seems really strong, but I actually think having that extra hard carry in Warbeast, and they did lock it last, and I've seen them play it, and they play it very, very effectively. I think Keeper Warbeast would actually be much stronger here.
Yeah.
Securing that late game, and Warbeast would just dish out a lot of damage. They do go with the Keeper, no doubt about that. And there we go with the Warbeast. So I definitely like that option over the Tempest. And then Snap Pick Tempest, of course, for TDM. So very strong lineups on both sides.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Of course, Orange Esports, until that Warbeast pick, they didn't really have a carry option. So when you looked at the lock pool, it was a case of, actually Warbeast does make more and more sense. It is going to be swapped around. It looks like Wong Wong maybe be the one to end up readying up. In fact, there we go. And we are ready to go for game number one here. Both teams having their lineup, and as you mentioned, both teams are very strong lineups. I mean, you don't really see many flaws. It's not really like we're sitting here going on, how are they going to lane, what's going to happen. Both teams, I mean, the lanes seem fairly obvious for the most part. Expecting to see an awesome game here, and definitely a game that's, it's going to come down to skill. And of course, you always like to see that. Because when you have those interesting picks, sometimes you can always, go back to blame it on that. But both teams, very, very strong lineup. So
I think really in this whole tournament that's been the case. I haven't really seen a team. I mean, we've seen some quirky lineups and maybe some picks that don't really work, even from Complexity. But I haven't really seen a mismatched draft.
True.
And it's really this whole tournament. So that's been kind of fun to watch. These teams definitely know what works and what doesn't. We're probably going to see that, that Meraxis and Glacius in the middle lane. Glacius might float between bottom and mid, but I actually think that I thought for a second there they were going to go with a dual range against what's probably going to be a Magnus engineer in the mid lane. Curious to see if ORGE Esports does actually do that.
Yeah, Boo Boo scouting out right here. Of course, the Courier going to swap Boo Boo, and the 4 players here from ORGE Esports Malaysia, they are going to defend this top spot, and they will prevent, of course, the Ward of Sight being placed down. Of course, give it the force, as you mentioned, XXF coming down here, placing the Ward of Sight himself, so they will have that advantage to an extent. But, oh, we do have a vote to pause here coming up from the Hellborn team. Again, this is their first match here, just setting up for the day, so perhaps, fixing some configurations in the game. Want to make sure you have all those bindings set, because the last thing you want is for a fight to start, and all of a sudden you realize something's a little bit different when it comes to the bindings. So.
Look at the item pickups actually from Warbeast with a Shield Hatchet Tango, or the Shield Hatchet Rune of the Blight. That is pretty crazy. Of course he's going to go in the jungle. He pretty much has to, unless we're going to see some kind of trialing. No, because there's a hatchet up on Shuyi, of course, as well. So, yeah, maybe he wants to mitigate the damage onto his wolves and absorb it himself. I've never seen this before. I'm curious to see how it works.
Yeah. That is definitely a little bit different. Yeah, seeing Slicks play that dual lane Warbeast, not going to see that, obviously, but going in the jungle, and yeah, interested to see how that pays off for him. Obviously, he's sitting in a pause here, so again, hopefully going to go ahead and get the issue figured out. Then we'll be good to go in what is game number 1. Again, what is on the line? The winner of this matchup will play Complexity in the grand finals, who took out TT Esports just a little bit ago, 2-0 in their spot. Now, so after this series, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but after this series, the losing one of this, of course, will play TT Esports in the 3rd place matchup, and that will be next. Now, there was actually a change to that, and again, we'll explain it more in a little bit later, but while we have some pause break here, for the 3rd place match at least, it is actually only going to be a 1-game series now. Because of some scheduling conflicts that ended up coming up, it is only going to be a 1-game series for that 3rd place. So $8,000 for 3rd, $4,000 for 4th place. That's a good difference right there in terms of prize pool, and it's going to come down to just 1 game for those 2 teams. So that'll be some fun there, and of course we are planning to cover that next after this series, maybe after a short 15-minute break or so. But and then of course the grand finals later, and actually there is a bit of change with those as well, but we'll have some more information for you as probably coming around the 3rd place match. So definitely stay tuned for that. But so.
Well, this match in hand, it looks like we just have like a PC problem or something like that. Hopefully that gets fixed up right away, that we can continue on with the game. But yeah, I'm still curious about the Shield Hatchet onto Warbeast. Never seen it, but I'm curious.
Yeah.
I want to see what he wants to do with this. Anyway, lineups are both strong on both sides. I do give the edge. I don't know. It's so hard to say early on like this. You got strong team fight from both teams, really. Probably better team fight on Hellborn between Magnus, between Bubbles. Yeah, definitely stronger team fight. You also have very strong late game with Warbeast. I think Warbeast is absolutely a beast. Oh, God. Anyway, WTF disconnects. Hopefully they can figure this out pretty soon.
Well, the worst comes worse. This isn't a case like we've had these last couple of days where there's been instances where we even have to remake after a Bloodlust kill. That was a lot of fun. Of course, that was a QSQ match. Versus, I want to say Team MRR, actually, where they remade that was where Nova got Bloodlusted, and they actually remade it, and he did it all again. It was pretty funny to watch. But
that was really funny.
This, worst comes to worst, if it is a serious issue, then, you can remake. I don't think it's that kind of issue, though. Doesn't seem like it's just a case. Get in the PC or whatever, figure it out, and then we'll be good to go for continue on here with game number 1. So, of course, this is day number 2. It's or day number 3, excuse me. What am I saying? This is day number 3 here for the DreamHack Winter 2012 event. It's been such an event in the making. When you really think about it, it's been really since last summer. I mean, right after the DreamHack Summer event, shortly after at least, we had the DreamHack Summer Championships. And of course, that was a case where Complexity qualified through, as well as getting some good money from that. But they were the first team to qualify from that event. And ever since then, we've been going through the DreamHack Redemption Tournament, Destination DreamHack Tournament, and then, of course, all the regions having their own qualifiers. So this has been an event in the makings for so long. That's not enough. I see always a lot of people bring up, like, oh, it'd be awesome. Why aren't there more North American, European teams? They deserve to be there, blah, blah, blah. You can't think of it as this just being the only part of the event. It's been in the works for months and months and months. All these qualifiers have been happening. And, if you couldn't qualify initially, then, these teams deserve to be here. They went through their qualifiers. So
absolutely.
That's how it works. So
we still saw some fantastic games, still from the Latin American teams, and even Cats Gaming. I mean, I was actually thoroughly impressed by Cats Gaming. I talked to Complexity, even though they did win 2-0 over Cats. They were like, we actually almost lost that game. And Cats Gaming kind of impressed us too. So yeah.
Yeah, it is an unfortunate issue. That's what's obviously great about these LAN events, seeing these all these worldwide teams, come to a LAN event and being able to compete on that even ping in the LAN setting. But on online, you do have to deal with the latency issues, with Southeast Asia and then CIS, such as Cats Gaming, the Latin American region. So we don't get to see their true colors. We don't get to see their true skill, you could even say, because of that. But
yeah.
You're right, and it has been proven this weekend. You cannot argue against that. Really, all the teams that were here, that were from different regions, other than North America and Europe, have been fantastic. They've really surprised us at the very least, and I really do look forward to seeing what they're going to bring in the future as far as sticking with Han and what they're going to accomplish. So actually, we are back on camera, so welcome back, guys. But okay, apparently he's just restarting his computer, so.
Hopefully that fixes the problem. It always seems to fix the problem. You restart your computer, everything seems to be working fine.
You restarted your computer? No. We'll do that. All right, look at that. It's fixed. Yeah, it's fun to let that happen. So,
yep.
Just having some chat in the game amongst the players, just getting to know each other a little bit better. But, again, Trademark Esports, I'm sure they're confident, but in the back of their – obviously – Trademark Esports and TT Esports, they actually played a 2-game series at the final game of the group stages yesterday. That was a pretty fun series to watch, especially that second game. But the first game was actually a determination of who would be playing Complexity in the semifinals. Obviously, tdM won that first game against TT Esports, thus allowing them to play ORGE Esports, and of course TT Esports to play Complexity, which they ended up losing to.
Well, let's not forget too, like the TT Esports game against QSQ, they were down a considerable amount. It was a fantastic comeback. It was like 24,000 experience, 12,000 or 13,000 gold lead. Yeah. And they came back from that, and actually TT Esports won that game. And then game 1 of tdM yesterday, or last night, of tdM versus TT Esports, they were down, 60,000 experience, but still taking it to tdM.
That was
they actually almost won. Yeah. Can you believe that?
60,000 experience, 45,000 gold, I think was like the ending number. But it was obviously ridiculously up there for most of the game. But they simply had Phora, Warbeast, and Wild Soul. They had a crazy backdoor strategy, and it just allowed them to stay in the game. But Trademark Esports, to all their credit, they played it very, very smart against them. And even though they had the lead, you could easily say, why aren't they just pushing and finishing the game? Well, because of that strategy. So, but in the end, tdM, of course, did win. But you're right, TT Esports against Q Squad. Imagine if that game never came back by TT Esports. That would have not only allowed Q Squad to still have a chance, but that would have also allowed all the other teams. Yeah. Because as a result of that victory, actually, it not only knocked out Q Squad, but it also happened to knock out both MRR and Dynasty, the Latin American team, from being able to move on to the round of 2. So that was a triple whammy, you could say, coming out there from TT Esports. So it looks like he's reconnected, though. We're going back into the game, so let's jump back into it. And here we go. So again, game number 1 here, TT Esports taking on ORGE Esports. The lanes are beginning. You keep going back to that Warbeast, the hatchet, the shield. Where is he going to go with it? Well, we'll definitely get an idea now.
Yeah, I'm watching him. He's probably going to summon these once, and then, of course, get his regen back in the well, so he doesn't have to waste his mana just a little bit. He has no mana potions at all. It's one important thing to note. Usually you see something like 2 mana potions as you build into that Ring of the Teacher, and then ultimately an Abyssal Skull. But, yeah, I am very – oh, actually, he bought one. How did he get that? Oh, I guess he had enough gold. Oh, he waited, of course. He waited just a little bit more time. Oh, that's very interesting. That's very
Genius.
Cool. I know. Wang
Wait a second.
Smart man.
And by the time he gets there, I mean, the creeps aren't going to be spawned yet even. So, yeah, might as well, right? It's not that big of a deal. So, yeah, very smart play right there coming up from Wang, something a little bit different. Bubbles in the middle lane, actually taking a bit of harassment from Glacius, but to his own, he actually puts it back on Insanio, playing that Glacius, and he is forced to fall back as well and need some tree eaters. But WTF playing this Bubbles, he has actually already used one of his 2 health potions here. Look at the Bubbles build, by the way. The 4 minor totems, the Pretender's Crown, and the 2 health potions that he had. So, yeah, really tanking up there in a sense.
I mean, L is a fantastic solo player. And actually, oh, this is getting close. Insania is dipping down pretty low. As earlier, L actually, or WTF, harassed Glacius very, very hard. And he's doing a good job. And it looks like ORGE Esports is confident enough that they can dual lane Zai, this Wild Soul, and still get a lot of farm onto Magmus. And, oh, look at that harass coming out onto WTF yet again. He still has 1 more health potion, so he'll be fine. But, yeah, I'm interested to see. Basically, it's going to be free farming Limp or Miraculous for the free farming Mag.
Yeah. Of course, Noob G playing the Silhouette down here at the bottom lane, going up against XXF on Keeper of the Force in that suicide roll. So this matchup is, you expect Silhouette to have a fairly good time down here?
Absolutely. He still should have a good time. I think XSF still needs to get a shield. He's going to be taking a lot of auto-harass damage from Noob G on Silhouette. And I know Noob G, he likes to play this very, very aggressively, obviously because he goes Ghost Marches very quickly. But actually, as of late, we haven't seen him rush him as he normally does. He went last time as for, well, of course, he went Alchemist Bones that one game.
Yeah.
And into the Sustainer right after that. But, yeah, he really likes to play more the aggressive style in this 1v1 matchup.
Well, we saw right there, instead of actually finishing off a creep, he just kept auto-attacking Keeper of the Forest, who's running off to the side. So look at this right here. He's even chasing. Death Lotus will hit. They are going to pause right here as a Legion team, actually. So, again, hopefully just a quick issue going to get figured out. But Silhouette, you talked about it, and we're seeing here. Noob G already 14-6, actually. That is definitely the top of the game, easily over anyone over there on ORGE Esports. The top for them is actually that Magnus at 9-8. But yeah, Noob G is just having a very, very good start here at this bottom lane. So you mentioned those Alchemist Bones. He got that one game. I mean, he is off to a great start this game. Would it be past him to go Alchemist Bones here?
I don't know. I just don't like Alchemist Bones that early. I know it seems kind of weird because most people do. I just feel like you need a little bit more team fighting items so you can actually help the team, because whenever you have Alchemist Bones early like that, it just signals a red flag to the rest of the team or the enemies that, well, he went Alchemist Bones. He's in it for the long haul. That's kind of bad in the long run, but that means he can't fight for quite some time.
Yeah. And
so you just kind of farm, and the rest of the team gets owned. So I don't know. I don't think Alchemist Bones would be the right pickup, but yeah, we'll see.
Coming back here. Speaking of Magnus, being played by Shuyu, of course. How do you pronounce Shuyu?
Shuyi.
Shuyi.
I probably do it wrong still, but I think it's like Shuyi.
Probably better than Shuyu. Anyways, Magnus, though, again, he's obviously the farming Magnus. Oh, middle lane, yeah, WTF is going to go down right there. Bloodlust kill coming out as Glacius and Moraxis just do enough damage to finally take him out. So barely catching the tail end of that. But, WTF was obviously dropping early on here. He ran out of his 2 health potions, and I'm sure that didn't help that situation either.
Yeah, he just simply got caught. I think he got caught during that Shell Surf port. Actually, I think it was some time after that, because it's a 15-second cooldown. When he died, it was 7 seconds off of that. So, I mean, Glacius, Moraxis, man, this is why when you're thinking back to that drafting stage, what's actually going to be stronger in a composition with Moraxis? Aluna's fantastic. She's great. She's great for counter pushing especially. But Glacius just works so much better, I feel, with Moraxis. Getting the set up slow, and then the Ice Imprisonment to make a very easy combo.
G's going to pick up a kill right there. The Death Lotus actually not even using it to snipe, just on top of Keeper of the Forest, chasing her down. She was trying to eat through the trees, trying to go invis, but he just sat there with his spinning and eventually cut through her. So 2-0 lead just like that for Trademark Esports now, and obviously off to a great start. When you look at it that way, the middle and the bottom lane definitely having a very good time. And again, you look back at Noob G, all of a sudden 375 gold per minute pretty much. How about Moraxis? 410 gold per minute, 405 gold per minute or so as well. So the GPM right now, again, very early on, sure, 3.5 minutes in, but off to a great start for Trademark.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to find this War Beast. Where is he? He's actually in the top lane, just pushing his top lane. So he wants to push it. He is level 4. They want to dive maybe. Oh, actually, look at Mr. Ghost taking a lot of damage. If they get an entangle, they actually maybe do lots of damage. Maybe pick up a kill, but I don't know. This tower is full HP. The creeps are dying very slowly. I don't know. I think this push might be just a little bit too early, and they're going to lose a lot of experience as a result. Yeah,
well, they are grouped. I mean, they constantly want to keep going back and at least kill his Boo-Boo maybe, but Zai's doing a great job as you would expect. Oh, nice job at the Hexon right there. Actually, Mr. Ghost will pick up Boo-Boo on there, but Glacius is running over. He's going to try to make them pay. Tundra Blast coming out. Another spawn of Boo-Boo, of course, and the tower easily going to stay alive. Magnus, the entangle coming out of Magnus. That could be huge right here for tdM right now. ORGE Esports is going to have to retreat, and Shuyu will survive, but that entangle helped big time, no doubt, for ORGE Esports Malaysia right there. Or, excuse me, for tdM.
Yeah, I don't know about that push. I feel like it was too early. They didn't have enough damage. I think maybe when Wang Wang hits level 5 to have those Hellhounds just a little bit stronger, that might be the better time push. But yeah, good roam and good response coming out from Insania as he places the warp at the top river.
You see Wild Soul trying to recover a little bit on his farm. Only 6-2 again. Being that Suicide of Wild Soul, not off to the great start, but eventually we'll pick up, I'm sure. Middle lane bubbles in a little bit. Oh, the stomp just not in time. If that stomp came out, WTF could have been in a lot of trouble. But he's able to show stuff away. It's a good reaction on his part, and he will survive for now. But WTF, he is constantly living life on the edge here, it seems like. And it's just that very aggressive dual lane that he talked about. Glacius and Moraxis just applying a lot of pressure. And as a result, I mean, WTF, sure, he's getting okay levels, but his farm is struggling. And again, especially compared to Moraxis, who's 31-13. But Noob G's story means even higher, 34-13.
Yeah, and Minot's doing a great job in the jungle. You see yet again, we talked about this last time we saw him playing, I think it was Parasite, and he went bottle, and yet again, goes bottle on Tempest. He likes to do this, and he's going to pick up some boots as well, some more mana potions, and then actually a Word of Revelation to maybe counter something. But
oh, Boo Boo, can he deny? They stun Boo Boo actually, and they get the tower kill. That was well timed there by ORGE Esports. So what that initial push did, of course, is set up the eventual tower kill, but they still spent a lot of resources and a lot of time even getting the initial push. But the tower is down, so that's exactly what they're going for. And now ORGE Esports, it looks like they actually may commit to more of a push at the top lane. Obviously, you'd expect Trademark Esports to put some type of response up here in the near future.
And they're doing that right now, actually, Tempest. Just on cue. And look at that bottle. He has a haste rune now. This could be pretty deadly, perhaps for XXF. He doesn't have level 6. Homecoming Stones are not up and ready to go.
Wild Soul in some trouble, though. He gets kicked, and after the Magma stun, Wild Soul will fall. Great coordination from ORGE Esports. Glacius is running in, but with a kill on a Wild Soul, that definitely changes things up now in favor of Orange. And this tower is going to start getting a lot of damage. Moving off the bottom lane. The Tempest ultimate going to pull and keep it the force. Deathlord is on top of that from Silhouette, and Keeper will fall as well. But back to the top lane. There's a little bit of tower damage coming out, but they could. No, they're not going to look to push the tower in the end. They don't want to get a kill just yet, and they are going to fall back. So a couple of good kills coming in for either team right there. But Tempest and Silhouette now, they are going to push the bottom lane themselves, and they very likely could get it, actually.
Yeah, there are no Homecoming Stones up on the Hellborn team. This is probably, this is most definitely going to be a dead tower, and a good job with Minos. He had the haste rune. I knew he was in the ultimate. That gave him the first.
Oh, Glacius getting picked off in the meantime. The Ancient run through by Magnus and Engineer right there. Very well played. Double axe, though, hitting Magnus, but support is nearby, and Limp will be forced to fall back. As it would be kind of silly to chase after that point, as it would be 1 versus 3. So, good pick on Glacius right there. Again, excellent roam from Magnus and Engineer, as they can definitely do, showing there. But we're still looking at overall an 1800 goal lead, 2,000 experience lead. 7.5 minutes in right now in favor of Trademark Esports, actually.
Warbeast goes back to the jungle. He does hit level 6, so now you can actually start ganking. Now, talked about, Warbeast in combination with Bubbles, or especially against Bubbles. He's horrible against Bubbles. Bubbles is great against him until you get the Stronger Head, but together, it's the same idea. On top of that, actually Engineer would be very great. All these heroes actually synergize very well together. They are at a deficit right now, but if they can get those core items up, I think they're going to win every team fight.
Yeah, the team fight is definitely there for ORGE Esports. So it's really, being patient on that. So like you said, despite them being slightly down here early on, nothing to get too worried up about if you are Orange. So Warbeast, the Abyssal Skull, definitely on the way. Keeper the Forest taking some more harassment here at the bottom line. Keeper the Forest, man, he's getting locked down and farm himself.
Yeah.
That is really showing. I mean, I think I saw him purchase a Pickled Brain, actually. So I believe he has, or it's in the makings at least, of that Ring of Sorcery. But 8.5 minutes in, I mean, you would easily expect them to have it right now, at least if he was a jungle at least. Of course, being the Suicide Roll, that does change things up. But Silhouette, again, Noob G doing fantastic here for Trademark. 423 gold per minute. It shows Sustainer and Ghost Marchers already finished on him. And he's actually going to go through the jungle a little bit. Maybe pick up some farm. But in the meantime, Port at the bottom lane from Moraxis. Oh, he's invisible. This could be big here for tdM if they can coordinate this. Now, Word of Revelation plays down in the background, however. If Moraxis gets close enough, he's going to be in trouble himself, perhaps. But they just can't see. Oh, Moraxis, now he's close. Now he's close. Moraxis is going to be dumb. Can he get the Matrix off in time? Here comes that Keeper Root on top of that. Will the Matrix get off? Yes, it will. Lit may be able to turn this around. A Silhouette towards the party as well. XXF dropping here off to the side. The Deathlord is spinning. No, it's not spinning, actually. He used it. And Keeper of the Force is going to be fine. So no deaths happen down here somehow at the bottom lane after all those cooldowns being used.
Well, unfortunately, the Kegstone, good job by Mr. Ghost, but it was just one of those unfortunate things. It actually pushed Moraxis out of the way, and the Shell Surf missed as a result. So that was really, really unfortunate. Just unlucky, to be honest.
Oh, look at this, though. Magma's actually diving in. They're going to go for Glacius, their target of choice, and they will easily kill him. Moraxis hanging around, but he will just fall back now, as realizing that that's a lot of heroes right there. In fact, it's 4 in total for ORGE Esports. And Noob G, of course, he's very aware that they are here. But he's just going to just hug the tower, sit in the jungle, hope for the best. Top tower denied, by the way, by Zai. That's well played on his part, not even catching that. But Wong Wong going for it, not able to kill it. Tempest, in the meantime, though, Minot's actually pushing the middle lane, and he will get this tower kill. So, again, Trademark Esports doing enough to stay in a solid lead here. ORGE Esports, they're committing to a push down here. We'll see if this works out.
I mean, good job by Minos. He knew that he can't really push that or defend that right there in the bottom lane. Top lane was being pushed quite heavily. Good job by Zai getting that deny. And the response coming out early, counter-pushing before you know early on that you can't take a fight.
Ooh, a hasted Warbeast right here. He's chasing a Tempest right now. Obviously, not going to do too much by himself just yet, and he will end up falling back. The bottom tower going down, though, so ORGE Esports some positive news there. Tempest put the stun there on a Warbeast. And actually, yeah, if he ultied there, they could have maybe had a chance making something happen. So Choosing not to, though, choosing to save that ultimate for now. And Warbeast will be fine as a result.
Miraxis on his way to a portal key, of course. He's going to have it at about the, I want to say 14-minute mark, and that's going to be fantastic for him. 14, 15 marks, something like that. Keep it the force. Probably going to look for his portal key right after this. Actually, he's in a lot of trouble.
Speaking of keeper, Revelation or anything today. Oh, the Tempest ultimate going to completely miss right there. He pulls in the Tree Dogs, but the real keeper is off to the side, and he will survive. Big misplay by my nuts right there, unfortunately.
Well, I wouldn't really call it miss, but I would just call it unlucky. That was a good play by XSF. He went, Minus predicted that he was going to go stay with his Tree Dogs.
You're right, yeah.
XSF went the other way. You still want to use that spell, but as a result, the bad thing about it is, it was a good idea. As a result, though, ORGE Esports is going to probably push this mid tower, knowing full well that Tempest Ultimate is down.
Yeah, so that's going to work out, again, very well here for ORGE Esports. And this middle tower is going to be destroyed, and the gold lead is going to diminish even more. In fact, it's nearly identical at this point. So, again, great news for ORGE Esports Malaysia. Still in the long run, you got Noob G here on Silhouette having a fantastic game, 435 gold per minute. He is getting closer and closer to that Nullstone initial pickup, but the push will continue. Again, obviously, the Tempest Ultimate is still down. Limp, of course, has that Matrix on his on Moraxis, but that will be enough to scare off ORGE Esports for now. Engineer's level 6, so of course he has an energy field to keep in mind that. And speaking of portal key on Moraxis, how about Magnus actually? His portal key is going to be coming up soon shortly as well, as he has a 1776 gold saved up. So that's going to be great news again for ORGE Esports Shuyu there. That'll be big for him.
Yeah, all these tower pushes are really paying off right now. They did get outlaned, and actually, what am I talking about? This is 3-3. For some reason, I thought there were more hero kills up on tdM, man. But yeah, the towers as well. Regen Rune was found by Wang in that bottom lane, or the bottom river, I should say, as now he takes out some Ancients, and he's farming now actually pretty well. Let me just take out the gold per minute chart. He is the second highest in the game, right behind Silhouette at 430.
Yeah, it's worked out very well for him. As you mentioned, that Abyssal Skull Steam Boots, another 700G gold saved up, and actually going into the Legion jungle here, trying to find some creep camps, but obviously, as you can tell, Silhouette has already cleared those up, and she's going to split up here as the Hellhound's going to be sent in, trying to maybe ninja the creep, but just not in time. So Silhouette, again, 2,200 gold saved up, so that's enough for the Blessed Orb. Just needs a little bit more now for the eventual Nullstone pattern and to have that picked up. Bubble's going to farm away in the top lane in the meantime, but Magnus does have that portal key now. And that's it is going to be maybe a surprise. No, he was just running on a ward of sight. So if tdM was quick enough right there, they very likely spotted him with that portal key. So it shouldn't become too much of a surprise here if you're tdM.
Yeah, and that's a fast portal key pickup from Magnus. The 2 assists definitely help Shuyi get that extra gold. If you look at Moraxis, they have pretty much the same CS, 57 to 56. So yeah, just a little bit of faster of a portal key coming out from Magnus.
Experience is showing, though. I have the individual experience per minute chart. Alone, you have 3,300 experience lead for a Legion team, but Silhouette and Tempest especially, they are on another level. Silhouette really is on another level when it comes to leveling up. In fact, she is level 10 already. Compared to everyone else here on the Hellborn team, the max being level 8, which is actually 4 of them. So as a team, it's looking pretty good for Orange, but the individual standing out a little bit more for Trademark Esports. But as a team, we are going to see a push down here coming out from ORGE Esports, and this tower is going to start taking a lot of damage. Silhouette is already here. It looks like tdM may look to defend it. Tempest Ultimate is coming off cooldown, actually, in about 7 seconds. Granted, he doesn't have a portal key just yet, but this tower is going to fall, and it will go to ORGE Esports. So they will overtake the gold lead, actually, for the first time in the game, I believe. And in the meantime, Bubbles, is pushing the top lane here.
I think they just want to wait for the portal key on Moraxis. I saw him still trying to farm that mid lane, and they don't really have that initiation yet. No portal key up onto Tempest, no portal key up onto Moraxis. They need that before they initiate a fight. And I want to talk a little bit, as I see in chat, this is a very good point. So shout out to all you viewers out there. But Silhouette going for the Nullstone, you just seem like it's so standard. Yeah. You're just so used to it, but there are 0 spells that block it, or that it blocks. Sorry, on the Hellborn team.
Wow.
Absolutely 0.
How often is that?
Now, the thing is Nullstone is still great for just, regen. It helps you farm. But that's when we see a lot of players like Slicks go just in the Whispering Helm to help them farm. And to stay, to keep that regen up in the jungle or what have you. So, yeah, I kind of agree with all the viewers out there saying, Nullstone's probably not the best option for
there
him.
is always the thing to keep in mind, though. That could even be better to an extent, because it means that if a Hellflower, which eventually could be picked up here in the Hellborn team, like Bubbles and Magnus or whatever, that's the only thing that can take it off. So when you look at it that way, it still actually has some use in that sense. So
yeah.
This tower, though, in the middle lane is going to start taking a lot of damage. Actually, I don't think this is going to be a kill. It looks like Trademark Esports is putting up enough of a fight. In fact, Limp is very close to that portal key. Really wants it. Meanwhile, the top lane, Wildsoul in some trouble. Actually, the ulti form from Warbeast. The final line of attack. No, the bear block's not going to be enough. Wildsoul will fall down. He gets picked off at the top lane. Of course, plenty of gold on him. He's been saving up for the Mock of Brilliance, but it will slow him down, and that's a huge pick off for ORGE Esports.
Yeah, mass TPs coming at bottom, but a good swap coming out from Noob G. Very, very fast fingers right there. Look at all those TPs coming out. 3 TPs, and they timed it actually quite nicely. It was a very good idea, but Noob G really, really fast response.
I happen to be following him specifically, and all of a sudden he ported bombs. What the hell just happened? But yeah, he's holy crap. That was very quick right before the lava surge hit, and able to port away and save himself, because that he probably would have died too, and that would have been a couple of great picks. But still, they got the great pick on a Wildsoul. Again, slowing him from the Mock of Brilliance. He has 2,700 gold saved up. But look at this. Kongor getting absolutely zerged, pushed to the back of the pit even. They are nailing him up against the wall here. And they could very likely get it. There's a ward of sight place. It's just about to run out from Insania. But I don't even know if it spotted them going in. It doesn't spot all the way to the pit. So this is going to be a Kongor kill, and we will see Token Life, probably something like on the Warbeast here.
Well, I don't... Warbeast this early on, when you don't have the level 2 ulti, I mean, it looks like he is going to take it. Or I think Magma should take it. I don't think it should be on Warbeast, yeah. With this early on, when your ulti cooldown is just so long, it's not really worth it. If you do ulti and you die immediately, it's just completely wasted. So, Noob G does take the tower up top, gets credit for that kill, and he's probably top farm in the game. Yes, he is, 455. And, I mean, you make a good point. I am actually the one that always says that, too, is that, you know, eventually Bubbles probably will get a health flower. Yeah. Same thing with Magnus, but still, it's still, to me, I feel like Whispering Helm might have been the better choice, but still, it also is okay.
Yeah. Middle tower, especially with that W from Warbeast. It's only level 1 right now, but even still enough damage. The battle cry coming out. You see the minions. You see the heroes are glowing red because that. The tower will be killed, and deny attempt from Zai right there with Boo Boo. Not successful, though. So look at that. 6 towers are dead. We're only 17 and a half minutes into this game. All outer towers have already been destroyed by ORGE Esports Malaysia. So talk about some great pushing going on. And no doubt a big reason why they have an 1,800 gold lead here. The experience does still remain in favor of tdM. Again, that just naturally happens when you're going to be grouping up and pushing like they are. Yep. But the gold is in favor of ORGE Esports right now. Yeah,
absolutely. Portal Key is up onto Tempest. Portal Key is up onto Limp. They do now finally have the initiation. They have some core items. I think the next thing in line really is that Mock of Brilliance from Zai, who's doing a very fantastic job. He's 0-2-0. Doesn't have the greatest farm, but he's still managing to get, like I mentioned, a 20-minute to 24-minute, something around there in Mock of Brilliance. He's looking good for that.
Magnus does have about 880 gold saved up. So, again, he has a Portal Key, Ring of Sorcery, the Ghost Marchers. He's off to a very good start for his team. Who did I want to talk about, though? Keeper of the Force, that's what it was. He just purchased his Portal Key, actually, and he just had it delivered. So, big item there, of course. The Legion team, Trademark Esports, they were roaming in the Hellborn jungle. They had a ward of sight here that spotted Magnus, but not able to chase him down in time, and he got away. So, good news there. Warbeast does have a Mighty Blade picked up, so I'm guessing that Shrunken Head going to be next in line for him, and you can agree that that's the right choice there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He also has the Warhammer, so he's just only like what about 900 gold away, or not even that. So yeah, things are looking good for him. He's actually gone past the 400 gold per minute mark, just sitting just above it. And yeah, of course, Token of Life still on Magnus, about another 4.5 minutes to go on that. But yeah, relatively passive play as we've seen in the last semifinals as well.
Yeah, it ain't no 1-0 at 22 minutes into the game, but it is definitely fairly passive in the sense of at least kills. But again, we look at the tower kills. At the same time, we have 6 in favor of ORGE Esports. How many does tdM have? They have 3, so 9 total towers have actually been destroyed. Here, and a jump coming in, though. Is this going to work out? Engineer gets up. The reaction from Magnus, the eruption gun, and Tempest being locked on. There's a run on top. Tempest will fall. The port from Bubbles will pick up the kill. Warbeast is still around as well. He's charging in with his ulti form, and Trademark Esports is in retreat. Hero blocking going on from XXF. Is it going to be enough? Nice Quake Sun right there, stopping Warbeast as well. But Magnus does it, and Limp will be picked off. So great fight right there from ORGE Esports. A 2-for-1 exchange, and it ain't over just yet. They're going to get Insania as well. There's that pickup on him. And as a team, they get the hat trick, and ORGE Esports may even look to push into the base now.
It's going to be close. I mean, they're responding relatively quickly. You still have the ultimate from Tempest. I don't know if they can do that, but I mean, they're playing well as a team, ORGE Esports is, and they had the sight the whole time from XXF. I knew from just a long time ago that during the start of that fight, they would be coming out on top. And on top of that, you're going to have a Shrunken Head up on Warbeast in just a little bit, but they should not push this. I would not suggest pushing this with all their ultimates down.
It's like they heard you. Like,
yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine.
And with that Tempest still having that hole up.
Yeah. That's actually huge. Yeah, the Tempest, the fact that he still has his ultimate up, that's, I think, the big thing. So just not worth it. Go ahead and be happy with that pickoff. We see so many teams do that where they're like, oh, we got the pick. We need to rush into the base now and get it killed. And it comes back to bite them in the ass, of course. So very smart choice right there coming out from Orange. Arcana has been picked up on Bubbles. So WTF, man, I mean, he was struggling early on for good reason. Morax's Glacius lane was just beating him down. Yeah. But he's level 11 now. I mean, he's farming 318 gold per minute. He's got a portal key, Arcana, so he is on that way to the Hellflower, like I said. But again, when you think about it, that is the only thing that will be able to deactivate the Null Stone right now. So he can't use Hellflower on Silhouette is what it simply comes down to until somebody else gets maybe a Hellflower or something else, a tablet or something.
It's probably going to have to come out from Magnus, I would assume. You also have the tablet command worked on by that engineer, so you can use that. You can maybe get something onto Keeper of the Force as well, but Keeper of the Force, usually, especially in games like this against Tempest, go for that refreshing ornament. Or not refreshing ornament, but the refresher. Restoration Stone. There you go.
Refreshing ornament?
Yeah,
Astrolabe is good, I guess.
The typical refreshing ornaments build on Keeper of the Force.
Bottom lane, Noob G. Oh, he's going to pour it out, though, just in time. That's the illusion right there. They better not look. Okay, yeah, they spotted it, so. Man, Noob G, he's got some, he's quick, man. He's quick with that port, so he ports out before the jump even happens. That's how good he was. And they're just going to kind of push this lane out. Remember, Magnus still has a token of life, actually.
He does.
He still has it for even over a minute and a half, and Orange Esports is going to look to take advantage of that. Here they go with the group up at bottom.
I still hope that doesn't bait them to try to push into the high ground. I really don't. I mean, they have the lead right now, no question, but they're just it's not enough to lead. They need a much bigger lead before they can push in the high ground.
Yeah.
Maybe find a pick. If it means just wasting the token of life, then so be it. But you simply can't push right now. They might put a little damage in the tower and then may back off, but I don't know. This could get dicey for Orange Esports.
The last thing you want to do too, if you're Magnus, is start taking a lot of damage, but not actually die with it, and then get very low and have it waste off. So. You see he's already about half-life right now, so you want to be careful. Warbeast, though, double damage rune is activated, and they are looking to make a push, it looks like. Warbeast, though, falling back now. Will this be the retreat time for Orange? They're clumped up big time here. That's pretty dangerous. But Orange Esports is going to fall back for now, at least. They may actually wait for the creep wave. Nope, they're going to be like, all right, we agree once again. We're going to fall back and continue to farm.
If Silhouette had her illusion up right there, I feel like they could have easily killed that Warbeast right there. He was very low. If Moraxis is very fast with his stun. That being said, we've actually seen a number of times where stuns come in. Actually, remember Complexity versus Orange Esports, where Beaka came in with an ultimate from Behemoth, and an instant Shrunken Head pop on WTF. So they're very fast with their fingers, too. But I feel like they actually could have initiated a kill onto Warbeast. They're starting off with the Moraxis stun if Silhouette had an illusion behind him.
Yeah. They're still hanging out here in the jungle, actually, and that could, nope. Silhouette, again, being very smart. She's sending in the illusion right here. Don't use any, okay, that's not the biggest deal. They used a couple stuns. Yeah. Hate to see like a kelp goat or even a root come out on top of that. But Silhouette spots them there, and of course that gives her the information that she was looking for, and she's going to fall back. By the way, Silhouette went the portal key route, obviously, yeah, and then now a Mighty Blade picked up, so Shrunken Head in the works for her, perhaps. Shrunken Head obviously has been finished on Warbeast for a little bit. He had it even going into the last push, so great news there. The Arcana, how is that coming along? I want to say he might have a second one, maybe not. He does have a haste rune, though, currently activated, and actually cleaning up some Tempest minis there. Speaking of Tempest, he did actually push the secondary tower here in the middle lane while that push at bottom was happening. So tdM did get a tower kill out of it, and Tempest, Minuts, is actually at 352 gold per minute, so not bad himself. Shrunken Head also going to be the works for him.
Yeah, again, this is still going to be one of those difficult games about trying to get that Tempest ultimate off, even with Shrunken Head, because of the Keeper Force ultimate. And I don't know exactly how well or what XXF has in his stash. I want to say he has something. He did, okay, I want to say maybe he picked up Plated Greaves, but if he does get the refresher, it's going to be pretty difficult for Minus to get a good ultimate off.
Yeah. Well, Orange Esports, they feel pretty confident that they can actually make a push here, perhaps, into the base. So once again, going to go for something here. The Hellhound's in the front ground. Going to start cleaning up the creep wave. The Keg's done right there, hitting Moraxis, but opening up the doors for the animated trees to charge in. And maybe do a little bit of damage right here, but nope, they're gonna fall back as well. So I guess they're not really committing to a push by any means. Oh, but here we go, Mark says, I'm tired of waiting, bitches. In jump Tempest, in jump Silhouette, Magnus with the quick step, but Engineer picked up before he can up the energy field. Magnus channeling that option. The Tempest with a quick getter from Keeper of the Force, and Trademark Esports is falling apart. Limp's gonna go down there as well. The Shrunken Head, Warbase in ultimate form, tearing up the Legion team. Now ports are coming in after the buybacks, so tdM trying to make a counter right here. Silhouette ports in after her buyback. Great niches failed at the last second, and Magnus will survive their port. Look at their own and Orange Esports will survive when it's all said and done. Warby's gonna pour it out. Excellent push there from Orange Esports.
That was just absolutely beautiful to watch. XXF also making some enormous plays, getting the Nature's Veil off, then blinking ahead, then the extra blink after that. Oh, that was fantastic. And Noob G making some big plays of himself. He does manage to catch up on Shuyi and gets the kill on that. So Noob G, good job from him. He does buy out. So does Minos. Unfortunately, Minos did use that ultimate.
Look at this though. More access diving. Big time. Gonna go on to Bubbles right there. The Bubbles, the take cover. Gonna keep him alive. Not for long though. Silhouette did use support key, however. The energy field gonna catch her somewhat, but I believe she should be fine. In the end, Warbeast does have the ulti form coming up right now. No Shrunken Head just yet. Marks is still diving. Trademark Esports making an excellent response right here. Hat trick coming up for Noob G actually. And all of a sudden, they are pushing the base of Orange Esports. How did this just happen? I have no clue. I mean, holy crap. It will talk about a complete change of momentum right there in a matter of seconds.
I know. Noob G just came out and he was like, I am pissed. Here comes the stun actually coming from Shuyi. He could be in a lot of trouble. Here's the Shrunken Head. I'll let you take over, Breakies.
Warbeast chasing out more access, but Matrix is activated. That's going to get him off. Illusion port from Silhouette, and she will be fine. So tdM doing the same thing that Orange did. They retreat as soon as possible, and they will fall back. But wow. I mean, that fight was won by Orange Esports at the bottom lane. Then 30 seconds later, the Orange Esports base is being pushed in.
I think they just got a little complacent. They didn't really feel that they were being chased or were in harms after getting that massive escape in the bottom lane. And tdM, I mean, like I said, Noob G, he came out and he's been playing so well too, and just managed to find those pickoffs.
Yeah.
And you got to credit also to the Ghost Marshals give you the extra movement speed. He gets flamed a lot for buying those on certain heroes where it seems like you shouldn't buy them, but he's been making some big plays with them. Soul's Bulwark is up onto the Warbeast.
Yeah. Yeah, he makes it work. He makes it work. So Conqueror obviously back up, and Orange Esports immediately heading in that direction at least. I don't know if they're going to go for it, it looks like, at least somewhat. This time, though, the Legion team very aware. Boo Boo's going in, and he will easily spot the Hellborn team attempting Congo right here. So, but actually, Orange Esports are not going to do the whole, oh, we're going to fall back now because you spotted us deal. They're saying, you know what? Bring it, tdM. Bring a team fight to us. We'll see how that works. We've been stressing this whole game. Honestly, Orange Esports has the stronger team fight team, so they're going to stand their ground, and it's going to work out here. I don't know, maybe actually. It's going a little bit slow, and they will retreat here, actually. So they do more damage, but tdM is finally going to respond now.
Yeah, and the scary thing, too, is Minos' ultimate is coming off of cooldown in just 15 seconds, and maybe they saw that, but yeah, I did want to mention that the ultimate from Tempest was used, even though he died immediately and still bought back, so unfortunately, Minos not really able to do anything, or kind of a bad play for him, if you want to say. But nonetheless, fantastic response from Noob G earlier. And as a result, they're actually back now on top in the gold experience, but it's still relatively close. 8 to 10 hero kills in favor of Orange Esports at the 28-minute mark.
Yeah, speaking of 28-minute mark, 28-minute Helm of the Black Legion actually just finished on more access. So
yeah.
Very late Helm, but hey, more access. I guess it can help him tank here. So he's got his Portal Key and Mystic Vest with Steam Boost on top of that. Interesting timing, though, with the item. Soul's Bulwark, of course, is up on Warbeast, so he's definitely kind of a nice little pusher as well as team fight for his team. And we're still waiting for that Shrunken Head to be finished on Silhouette. That, of course, is going to be another big item, as well as the Hellflower on Bubbles, as we keep going back to. So Congo is still very much so an interest here for Orange Esports, but they obviously got to be very careful with it. Now, it seems like that they could have somewhat of a chance right here, but maybe not. Keeper of the Forest, however, in the meantime, look at what he's doing down here. He's just kind of chilling out. He's going to spawn some trees, and he's going to go to backdoor this tower, actually. And this is definitely going to force a response out of Trademark Esports as he's going in. We're going to see some ports come in. They do have a vulnerability, I believe, as well, so I don't think this is going to fall. There's the ports coming in. He's going into the base. He's going to go for a port out, actually. Is he actually going to make it?
What?
Wow.
What?
Wow. Was he wasn't. The tower was in range, so there's no way.
I don't know.
A little confusion there. That seemed like that should have been an easy portal key. And look at this. They're going to Ninja Conqueror now as a result of that distraction. That was going to work out perfect for Orange.
There's also a bound die on the ground right in front of Minos. It just passes right by it. They don't have a bound die on their team. They could definitely use one. It's sitting right there. Am I the only one that sees
Guys,
this? I don't know.
Is there is the monitor not on or something? I mean, is it keeper? Is it a pound tie? All right. So, anyways, the Orange Esports, big plays right there. I mean, great distraction from XXF on keeper. He didn't get the tower, but that wasn't even the purpose. Clearly, the purpose was to buy time for the token of life to be picked up eventually on Warbeast. So, well played right there.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder how long when that bound die was sitting there. It must have been from that fight down in the bottom where Orange Esports made their escape, and there's the bound die. Finally, Insanity spots it out.
Wait a second, what is this doing here?
Yeah, so
Present.
yeah, I swear to God, he was in range of that tower when he was porting out.
Yeah, seemed like it was.
Maybe he was a little far out. I still really feel like he was still in range, but nonetheless, it looks kind of silly. And they do get the token of life. It is up on a Warbeast. It is appropriate now to be on Warbeast because he does have that level 2 ultimate, and it's actually probably going to hit level 16. I would imagine before that token of life runs out.
Well, they are somewhat gathering up here at the bottom lane. You see Engineer in the front line. If they can chase down Glacius, actually, it's going to be close. Boo Boo is here, though, with that Mocker Brilliance, and you see Engineer immediately turn around. So, good job by Zai putting some threat out there. And actually, Trademark Esports, all 5 of them are down here. Orange Esports not all here just yet. Keeper the Force running into a bound die. Oh, Keeper of the Force. Portal key at the last second. He is so lucky. He did not get caught out right there because he was definitely in enemy territory. But possible fight could be taken down here if Orange Esports keeps this push up.
Yeah, fantastic play by XXF. He was playing well this entire tournament. And, I mean, some players would have, of course, seen just, I'm invis, but you have to scout out every little bit of what inventory the other team has. So good job from him. Another ward base actually in the same kind of area from Mr. Ghost. He has one here. Insania has one there, right next to each other. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to see a little old standoff down here.
Yes, we are. Orange Esports, again, they really want this bottom push to work. So you said earlier maybe too early. Is now a good time? Do you think Orange can now actually push and start pushing into the bottom lane here?
Well, they're down in experience in gold, so I mean, they do have good push. They do have fantastic team fight on top of the token, so maybe they could push a fight, but I would just prefer to get a little bit more ahead, find a pick off. You do have every tower down, I suppose. But maybe get level 16 on Warbeast with that token. I don't know, or maybe, I mean, Engineer doesn't really have any items either, and maybe a push book would be good on him too.
Yeah.
It just feels like they don't have enough, and the numbers reflect that. They're still trailing.
Well, Tempest down here helping to clean up the lane, and obviously Orange once again, kind of a rinse and repeat type deal. They just kind of start somewhat push the bottom lane, and then they start to fall back and continue to farm some more. The Barrier Idol, that will definitely be huge, of course, for Orange Esports.
Oh, yeah.
Picked up by Keeper of the Force, I would think, now that he has the full Shaman set just finished. So that's another item that they could definitely wait for before they push into the base, of course. And that level 16 Warbeast, wouldn't be a bad option either. Hell, Engineer's almost level 11 himself, and even a level 16 Magnus, if you can buy enough time for that, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Could be pretty powerful as he's level 14 right now, so. And he might be getting close to his own Hellfire. And again, going back to the point. Now, here's the thing. So, if you're, say he gets the Hellfire going into the next fight, if you're Orange Esports, actually, hold that thought for a second. They're going to jump right here. There's the Hellfire. Beanu's on the Tempest. Warbeast is chasing. Is this going to work out though in the end? He uses the Striker. Are we going to see Tempest ultimate? No, we're not. Down goes Tempest right there. Great pick coming out from Warbeast and Bubbles playing for Orange Esports Malaysia.
Yeah, they just need pickoffs just like that to further the lead so that they can eventually push into the base. And yeah, once they get their core items, they have a lot of gold to spend on some of those heroes. 2,000 on Warbeast, just about 3,000 on Shuyi, and then of course Keeper of the Forest. Once he gets that Barrier Idol, that will be a cue to start pushing into the base, which is very low. I mean, look at that defense tower, only 163 HP.
Now, Tempest does have a buyback and still has his ultimate, so Orange Esports needs to be very careful about that they don't get committed and all of a sudden they get a Tempest hold without even realizing it. So they're going to push the middle lane, and look at the tower just drop back. There's the buyback, though, exactly what I'm talking about. The spread is happening, however, from Orange Esports Malaysia, so they're not really given a prime opportunity. Tempest here, they realize he popped back. They're just going to fall back, so I'm not even going to commit to the tower kill right there. And again, you can argue that definitely is a smart decision coming out from Orange Esports. They forced a buyback, if anything. I mean, there's only 20, and that's actually his last buyback.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So
that was a very smart decision by Orange. They still have 2 minutes left on the token. They don't really have to force anything, though. And with that knowledge, knowing that Tempest bought back twice, if you, in the late game, just initiate any kill on him, it's going to be very, very easy.
Yeah.
And looks like they might need a pause for a bathroom break. I understand from that. It can get kind of annoying in these long games sometimes, and people trying to keep themselves hydrated and whatnot.
Yeah. Apparently no one answering just yet, though. I don't know if he's asking us or the other team. I mean, obviously, if he needs to, after a game, WTF says.
Sure,
anyways, well, we do see the Hellborn team, though. They are just going to continue to farm for the meantime. Here. Sorry, I'm just a little bit distracted by chat. Okay, so I was bringing up this point earlier, though. Looks like we are going to have a vote to pause. So I guess he's just going to go use the restroom real quickly. So go ahead and, if you're at home watching yourself, here's a chance for a restroom break. But so Magnus, he actually does have the Hellfire now. So I want to bring this up. So we got the double Hellfire again. Those are the only things right now that can deactivate the Nullstone on Silhouette.
Yeah.
Do you use both those Hellflowers to coordinate and get the one Hellflower on Silhouette? Now they have two.
In a straight up team fight, it's kind of difficult. In a straight up team fight, I would say no. Maybe just use those to kill other heroes like Meraxis, especially because he is so tanky.
Yeah.
And it's going to have that extra damage applied. Or of course the Tempest, or even that Wild Soul. But if you can tell that Silhouette will play very far up because he has that illusion. If you can chump on him when he's very far up because of that, then absolutely. But in a straight up team fight, probably not. That's a huge investment. That's how much is a Hellflower? Let me double check. It's like 4,500. That's 9,000 just to get him silenced.
Well, it's also the idea too that the coordination needs to be there right off the bat, because the last thing you want is for one to jump in, use the Hellflower to deactivate it, and then he ports out before the other guy comes in to then use it, of course. So
yeah.
it is. Personally, I think it may just be a little bit too risky even, and you might just be better off even splitting it amongst the other two heroes. Say your Meraxis and Tempest even, if you can catch them. It's about, obviously Tempest, he might be sitting back a little bit too far, but your Glacius, your Meraxis, your Warbeast, or your Wild Soul, excuse me, even, could just ultimately be better options because of that. So yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see though. Obviously, I'm sure coming this next fight, what targets Orange Esports decides to place those on, depending how the initiation works. So.
Yeah, and well, I mean, ultimately, if they can get, like, say, a push book onto Engineer, but it looks like he's farming really close to nothing. That's unfortunate for him. If he got a portal key, oh man, their team fight would be so enormous. If they could somehow muster a portal key up on him. And to be honest, I'm surprised he doesn't because of all the towers that have been pushed.
Yeah.
So just not able to find any CS at all. Well, he has 20 CS, so
yeah,
maybe the 3. Well, I mean, with all those towers too, he's sitting on pretty much nothing except a major totem and Striders. So.
He is the ward bitch.
He is the ward bitch. I'll give you that.
And I mean, look at the map right now. Look at the bottom lane, actually. I mean, got a Rev down there, a couple of Revs. You got a Ward of Sight. You got another Rev. So, yeah, I mean, he's definitely been active with that.
He bought a Bound Eye, of course, too, earlier.
Okay,
I forgot about that.
Bound Eye, so, yeah, he's been investing plenty of gold elsewhere for the good. So, but yeah, portal key on him would, of course, be huge. As I said earlier, though, the barrier idol on Keeper of the Forest, that, of course, is going to be a great item for him and for the team of Orange. Magnus is level 16 now as well. And then Bubbles is actually coming up to level 16 as well. Looks like both teams are ready to go. So he's back from the restroom, and we're going to be resuming what is, again, game number 1. And as you can see on your screen, it's still 0-0, of course. This is our semi-final matchup number 2. We have Trademark Esports taking on Orange Esports Malaysia here in this best out of 3 series. So looking forward to seeing what actually happens here in this first game. It's been an intense game so far. Both teams have been going at it. Here, and it's been either side have had their positives. It looks like the Hellborn team gonna go ahead and vote to pause here once again. So I guess something else came up, apparently a mouse problem.
Huh.
So yeah, Keeper of the Forest again. That barrier idol, I think that's definitely gonna be a big key, and maybe that could be an item where they get that, and Orange Esports is like, okay, now we feel a little bit more confident about actually breaking into the base here.
Yeah,
making that push happen.
Well, if you look at also at Bubbles, I don't know if he's going to build for a Storm Spirit or just a very cheap tablet command so that he can actually go onto Silhouette. That might be the best thing for Bubbles. Just rushing in on him, using all his spells. Actually, XXF does DC right there. But Demonic Breastplate will be in the works for Warbeast. It's my favorite item on him. I just think it synergizes so well. Massive attack speed, massive negative armor, and positive armor to you and your team and the other team. But yeah, just a little over a minute on that Token of Life. They don't really have to rush it. They can still keep farming 3 minutes after that. Take another Kongor. They have the Hellborn position. Why not utilize it? And they're in the better position right now. They should realize it. Of course, Noob G is farming fantastically. Top farmer in the game. Is the top level in the game. Just 2 levels over both Wang Wang and Shuyi. But they should still feel like they have this game.
Yeah, both teams, I mean, honestly, they got their positives for sure. I think, though, again, Orange Esports, just the team fight that they have, it is very scary here for Trademark Esports. So, in the end, though, it comes down to the play, and obviously the jump, of course, the initiation plays a very, very, very big role, of course. XXF has reconnected, so just a matter of making sure that that's figured out, and then we'll be good to go. So apparently they are ready to go, and so is Trademark Esports. So game number 1 will officially resume once again here. And let's hope that we can go ahead and play it out now. So You said it, though. Token of Life is going to be wearing off here shortly, about a minute and 15 seconds, so no point to really try to push it by any means. Just go ahead and continue to farm. Wait another 3 minutes after that, and then, of course, go for, yeah, that would be that third Kongor, actually. So Bananas even going to spawn on top of that. So Orbeez just goes to the top lane. He has, yeah, 3,100 gold saved up. Plenty of gold. Maybe that Demonic Breastplate is indeed going to be finished for him. Look what they're doing up here, though. They're almost setting up a big bait on a Orbeez, figuring that the tdM maybe jump him, but obviously you look at the mini-map, that's not really going to be happening anytime soon. So Orange trying to be a little bit crafty there. Not really working out, though.
Yeah, some interesting wards. Actually, that one ward by Insania, it does kind of block some vision above that tree, way down there in the bottom right. It's kind of just a little interesting. He's got another ward coming out right above, actually where Noob G is right now. He's got an aggressive ward way up there that he just placed. So some interesting wards coming out from Insania at different places of the map.
They're really cute. They really want to try to kill this Boo, but they actually used a Portal Key Lava Surge down the Shell Surf, but he's just too damn tanky, man. Too damn tanky. He has 2,700 life. There's a haste run up top, actually, and Zai did definitely see that with this berry. He even stutter stepped a little bit, maybe even thought about destroying it. But Tempest was heading over here, and he's actually going to pick it up for himself, most likely. So in the meantime, ORGE Esports heading to the bottom lane. We do see actually the elementals down here from Tempest are going to definitely spot at least a couple of heroes, even the animated trees that were spawned. So realizing that something may be up. Of course, now they're all showing themselves at the bottom lane. So once again, ORGE Esports going to grip up and push. They don't have that barrier idol just yet, though, on the Keeper of the Forest. So that was the one item that I said, you know, maybe if they have that, then they could feel confident. They don't have it just yet, though. So this may be a little bit preemptive here.
It's going to be very, very close. I feel like they should just wait another, you know, what's it going to be, 2.5 minutes or something like that. They also have Demonic that they could place onto Warbeast right now, so I don't know what they're trying to do right here. I'm kind of iffy about that. Silhouette's on her way to a Savage Mace. He's picking up that Slayer right there. Zai consistently pushing out this top lane. So is Minus. Look at all those elementals. It looks like he just ported out from there.
Oh, Engineer in the front lines, actually. He's going to be bursted down. What the hell was Mr. Ghost doing all the way up there? Completely beyond me. I mean, he just had no chance. I guess you want to try to bait him to get an energy filled up real quickly, but he has no life. I mean, he just got bursted down with ease. Yeah. And Orange is like, okay, that our plan did not work out too well. So
I don't know what plan they had in store. I mean, they had a huge item ready to go on Wang Wang, and they also have Kongor in another 2 minutes or so. So why not just wait for that?
In a sense, I actually think that's good that happened, honestly.
I agree. I
like,
completely agree.
It could have been so much worse.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that same thing too. And Bubbles probably going to go for that push stick, I imagine, because then you can cancel that Nullstone from that Silhouette and then silence him, of course, with the Hellflower. Barrier Idol will be up on XSF if that is what he decides to go for, and just another creep kill. And that will be great for the team. And actually, yeah, we're not going to see the Demonic just yet onto Wang Wang as he picks up that Reaver there, or the Axe of the Malphite. So he's going to go for what looks like a heart, Behemoth's heart.
Yeah, that or Symbol? Could be Symbol eventually. I mean,
could be Symbol. He doesn't have the Whispering Helm, so you'd think that why would you waste? Why would you invest that much gold just for the Axe of the Malphite?
True. And he also has the Abyssal Skull, so.
Oh man, I just feel like Demonic Breastplate is just so good on him. Yeah. Just you attack so quickly and just cut through people. So I don't know. It doesn't give you that much damage, Behemoth's Heart. It does give you damage because you are a strength hero, naturally. But I don't know. I prefer the Demonic Breastplate at least.
He is a lot more tanky because of that, that's for sure. I mean, he's 2,300. Well, again, it depends on how you look at it. So physical damage, you can argue maybe the Demonic Breastplate may even be a little bit better. But you know, there is plenty of magical damage on this Legion side. Granted, you do have a Silhouette, but so it is a give and take. His life pool, though, he is at 2,300 life right now. Obviously, once he gets to Behemoth's Heart, I mean, it'll be up there around 2,800 or so even. So. He'll have plenty. Kongor is going to be respawning here very shortly. And that's what we were talking about earlier, you know, waiting for what will be the third Kongor kill here. So not only the token of life, but Bananas. And that, of course, will be nice. I believe it is going to be a Storm Spirit on Bubbles, by the way. He did actually just purchase a Mana Tube with the Neophytes book. So Storm Spirit in the work. But still a similar idea where, you know, he uses the Storm Spirit first and then he Hellflowers on top of Silhouette. But a Storm Spirit gives him an option, too, to even use it defensively if need be. So that's good.
Yeah, Storm Spirit's good. I actually really feel like this is one of those few times where Pushbook might be a little bit better. You can also push people out of Tempest ulti, and you can push people away from Meraxis and all his slows and whatnot. But obviously, Storm Spirit, very, very strong item.
Yeah. Boo Boo, you can never forget about Boo Boo being controlled by Zai here, of course, on the Wild Soul. He has the Soul's Bulwark, Mock of Brilliance, Bring of Teacher, and its Ghost Marchers. He's been constantly kind of going around and harassing every now and then. Actually, thought I may as well jump right there, but never mind. Well, it's around 325 gold per minute. Not taking off. Not anywhere close to his teammate, though. Noob G continues to just rise and rise, man. 520 GPM. He has a Slayer. 5,000 gold saved up.
Yeah.
It seems like that came out of nowhere. So obviously he has enough for the Savage Mace, but of course, especially in a game like this, he only has the one buyback, but wants to save it. Morax just misses a jump right there. In comes the energy field, and this could be a great counter chance for ORGE Esports. Now the Matrix is activated, but now Warbeast charging in. The Matrix taking so much damage. It's going to explode shortly, though. There's a lava surge shot, and Moraxis will fall when it's all said and done right there. And now Noob G pounding in damage over onto Warbeast. He'll be forced to fall back, but the pick is successful for the Hellborn team, and ORGE Esports can be happy with that.
Yeah, and that could have been worse, too. They had a double damage ready to go on Noob G. He was pounding in auto attacks. It actually didn't even do that much damage to Warbeast. So he is pretty tanky, but that was a fantastic pickoff. Well played by Wang Wang especially.
You talked about the fast fingers, man. I mean, I believe he was trying to jump Shuyu right there on Magnus, and he just portal keyed right before he got stunned.
Well,
so
I don't even think he was in range. If he blinked in there, I still think he was going to miss regardless.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, but nonetheless, this is the third Congo, right?
Yep,
correct?
bananas.
Yeah, they are going to get bananas, so
Oh, bananas.
that is huge. That is very, very big for ORGE Esports, especially having that token of life up onto Wang Wang. Hopefully he sells his TP.
I'm a little bit surprised they're not helping him.
Yeah.
It's going down fairly slowly, actually. I mean, the more time they wait, now Moraxis is going to be resurrecting right here, so they spent a lot of time kind of just walking around, but they are going to kill it in the end, so.
Yeah, they can't put a defense on this at least right now. But Congo goes down. Wang Wang sells his.
Look at the trees and the Hellhounds all over the place, by the way, in the Legion jungle. They're just despawning, but they were spreading those out to get information.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as you're saying, the bananas on Warbeast right there. He has that Behemoth starting 2,900 life. Who did the token go to?
Token went to Magnus. And I actually think that's better. I think token on Magnus is a little bit better because you are so tanky regardless on Wang Wang. He is sitting at almost 3,000 HP, so that's a smart decision. How much does bananas actually heal you for? 2,500. So yeah, getting the full effectiveness out of that.
Yeah. Keeper of the Forest still doesn't have a barrier out. I mean, he has 2,900 gold saved up, so.
Probably could just go straight for that refresher. So.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I mean, do you like that? It seems to me like barrier idol would have been pretty effective for the strategy at least they were trying to accomplish, and could eventually, continue to accomplish pushing up into the base. But
yeah. Oh,
engagement. Yeah, oh yes, we are. Engineer once again, but a quick reaction from Magnus. Engineer stays alive. He's going to get the energy field up, and Silhouette will have to pour it up. But in the meantime, Sword Spirit going to be used on bubbles. Warbeast on top of Tevez. He's going to be pulled in, though. Warbeast has a shrunken head up, however, so should be fine for now. But the Tevez ultimate holding him in place for Silhouette to pound in that damage. Tevez will fall. Warbeast uses up bananas, and that's the big play. The Keeper route coming out. Moraxis will fall, and ORGE Esports Malaysia again in a great spot right here. Magnus Eruption on top of Wild Soul in the background. He's down to half-life. Meanwhile, Glacius gets picked off. Silhouette joins back in. He wants to pick off Warbeast, but it's not going to happen. And now Noob G's in a little bit of trouble. He committed to a fight right here. Imports Bubbles, actually. But in the meantime, Wild Soul, being chased. A little bit of juking and jiving coming out from side. But Keeper and Magnus a little bit too strong. Take him out. The Hellflower. Silhouette may fall. Maybe a shell serve in 9 seconds, 8 seconds. The auto attack. One more. A genocide for ORGE Esports Malaysia in game number 1. They are in a very good spot now.
And they are pushing the base. Tempest has no buyout. That was a great ultimate by Minus, but just not enough damage, and the bananas made a huge play right there. Warbeast so much damage right there. And fantastic job, WTF. He found that Silhouette right there in the trees, was getting that Homecoming Stone, used that Storm Spirit, canceled the No Stone, and the Health Power to follow, canceled that TP, and as a result got the kill. So fantastically played. A 1-for-5 exchange there in favor of ORGE Esports.
Trademark Esports, look at the buyback situation for them. It's very similar to TT Esports last game.
Yeah.
Where, sure, they were hanging in there, but obviously, you looked at the buyback situation, it was clearly in favor of Complexity. This case is clearly in favor of ORGE Esports Malaysia. I mean, MyNuts on Tempest, you got Noob G on Silhouette. Both they don't have any buybacks. Limp inside down to 1. Insania has a couple, but it's Glacius, and that's not necessarily the biggest heal in the world. So that's great news for, of course, ORGE. tdM, though, they're going to group up right here. They know cooldowns are not going to be over. They are, actually. Those aren't the longest cooldowns. So ultimates are going to be coming up here for the Hellborn team, and Tempest ultimate is not up himself. So Trademark Esports, they're hoping to maybe get a lucky pick here in the jungle or something. ORGE Esports, though, they're not going to let that happen.
Yeah, and I like what Minus is doing. He's just going to go for a refresher himself, and that's pretty much the only thing he can do at this point. But yeah, look at all that gold pulled up on Keeper of the Forest. My God. And it looks like it might just be that refresher.
Yeah.
Obviously, obviously the barrier idol is fantastic, but Refresher's going to be even stronger in the long run.
Yeah, Warbeast. You mentioned the Demonic Breastplate. You'd love to see that finished. He went to Behemoth's Heart first. Now he could easily finish that Demonic Breastplate and just have the best of both worlds in that sense. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's on his way to perhaps doing that. 2,900 gold on Magnus. Yeah, Cold being just pooled up all around here, especially on the Hellborn side. So those bananas, though, they were huge. That being the third Kongor, if he did not have those bananas, that fight would have been so much different because he would have died there right off the bat, and he would not have been able to come through and just tear up the Legion team like he did. So, again, it shows you how important that third Kongor can be.
Oh, Insania's courier might get killed right here. He's trying to juke and jive.
Magnus wants it. Nope.
Oh, making some big plays. Insania is still on the run. He's going to hide here for now.
Going to start patrolling it now. We saw yesterday. No, there's nothing on the courier, so again, want to be the end of the world.
Oh,
he does
WTF. I'll give some applause to that.
Wow, how about that? Damn. I mean, he just he knew it was somewhere over there, and sure enough, guessed correctly. So very, very well played on his part. Now here we go. This seems like this is like the 5th or 6th time this has happened. ORGE Esports going to group up at the bottom lane, and now make a push. All that gold being pulled off, though, I feel like they should be spending that gold.
Yeah,
especially if they're going to push here.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe they're just going to get the tower and wait for the couriers. I mean, look at their top tower. It's getting heavily pressured right there, so it looks like they want to stick it out.
Oh, there we go. The Killfield jumping the Hellflower on top of that, falling back to Warbeast with that Shuriken, going right for Tempest. Tempest just falling back in the background. Energy field in the meantime. Silhouette pounding and damage to herself. Magnus going to hide in that CMS in the background. Warbeast being locked down, and Warbeast will fall. The Tempest ultimate holding him down. Morax is now chasing down Magnus, and Magnus, can he actually get away? Lava Surge is going to be his. I don't know if that's going to be enough, though. In fact, no, it's not. Shuyu will be picked off with that final auto attack. And ORGE Esports Malaysia, what are you doing? Bubbles will barely get away. Why did you commit to a push right there? Why did you commit to a jump in? Just didn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, they committed to, and then the Warbeast, I feel like he got just a little bit tunnel vision. He ran way too far away, and nice response from Minuts. He did use a solo hole, but that's all you needed, and actually NoobG came back in, did so much damage, and this is when you need to start getting your armor up, too. I mean, he does have a Savage Mace, so that's good against armor and whatnot, but yeah, that was unfortunate. They do have buyouts already. When he buys out, and that's going to make a queue for tdM to actually fall back. But if you know at the same time, NoobG has no buyouts, Minox has no buyouts.
Yeah.
If they kill one of those, especially Silhouette, being played by NoobG, who just bought, of course, as he has no buyouts, he should be buying all his items. Just bought that Dancing Blade.
Yeah.
You coordinate a kill on him, it's pretty much GG if you're already pushing in the base.
Oh, like we both saw, though, when we said, I mean,
yeah.
First off, you brought this up before. I mean, if you're pushing, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to be saving up money like they were right there, because it's a buyback. You know, if you're pushing, you're not going to buy back and then continue to push. If anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So you might as well go all out in that sense of using all that money. Now, granted, I guess Keeper of the Forest just didn't have enough for that refresher or restoration stone, which he actually did just purchase. So maybe that's the case there. But I don't know. I just felt like they had a lot of gold saved up. They could have maybe spent some of it. And on top of that, though, yeah, the commitment. If you die as a Warbeast, especially next to the well pretty much like he was, I mean, that shouldn't be happening. Now, the top tower is going to fall right here in favor of Trademark Esports, actually. So, ORGE Esports really needs to keep that in mind. Double damage rune is on Warbeast. How much longer does he have in that? About 35 seconds.
Oh,
so
wow.
That could be that could definitely be a difference maker here in this fight. That's for sure. I mean, he'll be wrecking people left and right. So.
They have no Tempest Hole, and that's probably their cue. Just rush back in.
Raxus says, I'm going to go in right now. Jumps into Warbeast. Magnus in the backer, though. He jumps himself in. Look at Warbeast once again. Going tunnel vision. Going right for Wild Soul, actually. He turns around. He wants to go in Silhouette now. Silhouette could have swapped, though. Warbeast just seems really confused right here. In comes the Keeper Rune. And now Warbeast is screwed. I'm going right for the Rax with that double damage rune. He'll take out the ranged Rax, but now he's going to fall back to ORGE Esports Malaysia. They lose Magnus. Everyone else still alive, but the ulti form wearing off there for Warbeast. And Warbeast is probably going to get dropped right here when it's all said and done. Tempest is chasing. Are we going to see Entangle? No, we're not just yet, but it's not even necessary. Down goes Warbeast right there. Keeper of the Forest just running away. He has a second root, actually.
Top lane.
But he's going to fall back. And yeah, look at the top lane. The Rax go down in favor of tdM. So Trademark Esports making a big comeback here.
Yeah, I agree with you, though. I think Wang just cannot find the right targets. And it seems like he, unfortunately, is just wasting so much time on that ultimate. And he needs to just find one person, stick to it. And they need to just simply coordinate these fights just a little bit better on ORGE Esports. This game is slipping away from them.
It is. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, ORGE Esports, it seems like they had a really good control of this game. It's just playing a little bit more patient, but they really just wanted to try to push it in. Obviously, Trademark Esports, they were the patient ones, and they are now the ones that have the advantages. The fact that ORGE Esports, or the fact that Trademark Esports is in the lead in racks now is mind-boggling, really. And also Warbeast, not only having trouble choosing his target, but he actually went for the ranged racks instead of the melee racks too. And so you're sitting there like, wait, what? No, melee. That's just like Han 101, really. So yeah, unfortunately, the decision making isn't being the greatest here for ORGE Esports and Trademark Esports. Saying esports a lot. Anyways, tdM is they're just capitalizing, and that's what the best of the teams do, of course. So
yeah, and it looks like you had the Keeper Root and then the Restoration Stone, but he hasn't used that second one, so that's a little unfortunate. He's going to have that Restoration Stone on cooldown for another 110 seconds or so. And that might be a cue for tdM to actually push into the base. The Tempest Ultimate is now up and ready to go. He's actually quite close to his own refresher. Needs the Sustainer and then another 600 gold after that. Well, 1875, I should say. But he has his Void Talisman up as well. I imagine that Glacius, should you get one too, would have one up in about 300 gold. Those are great pickups against the Warbeast.
Yeah, for obvious reasons. I mean, all physical, they'll dive on top of you. And as we see Wang Wang do, I mean, he likes to just get tunnel vision on heroes like that, Tempest especially, dive right on top of him. But with that Void Talisman, you can just sit there laughing in his face while he runs around, not knowing what to do. So, excuse me there. Bubbles actually pushing out the bottom lane now. In the meantime, going to try to continue to farm and also obviously push back the lane that got pushed up here in favor of Trademark. Overall, the experience is pretty much identical. We're 51.5 minutes into game number 1 here. Again, experience identical, about a 3,700 goal lead for tdM, but nothing to write home about. I mean, this is in stats-wise, this is still remaining to be a very even game right now. A game that Orange for a while there was actually in the lead by a decent amount even. So
yeah.
But tdM, again, perseverance on their part. It seems like we are focusing a lot on Orange and their flaws and whatnot. But tdM, again, they're playing patient. They're playing how they should be. They're responding very well, and they deserve to be ahead with the way that they're playing. So. I just saw a snake bracelet purchased by NoobG, so Wingbow is going to be finished here in the near future now.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that refresher, or the Restoration Stone, very, very close to being completed for Minus as well. And I was going to mention one other thing. Oh, yeah, Wingbow. I mean, Silhouette. The thing is, it's never over when you have 2 buyouts that are missing on your, especially your carry hero that has this much farm, is maxed out right now with items. So if you go all out and she gets caught out of position, especially when you're pushing, but you can still do it even when they push on you. Anything can happen, No buyouts on both Tempest and NoobG, of course. No buyouts on both Shuyi and Wang Wang.
Warbeast doesn't have any buyouts either, though. So it's same thing for tdM in a sense.
Yep.
They burst down Warbeast, then game's pretty much over. So
exactly.
Both teams are kind of in that spot now. If you get the other team's carry hero down as soon as possible, and all of a sudden you may be looking towards a victory. So. That's going to be the name of the game here, apparently. For now, again, more just sitting back farming. Kongor, this is the 4th Kongor, so once again, Bananas, of course, going to be spawning as well. If you do kill him, and I'm sure both teams are going to be, have their eye on him at least, and be very occupied with paying attention. So teams are trying to prevent the lanes from being pushed in massively. You see tdM going to the bottom, of course, as Orange goes to the top lane to prevent that. But again, you look at the racks, they only got the ranged racks down here. So, I mean, that's okay, but the melee racks is definitely the preferred if you have a choice. So, but that is still up for tdM. So,
I'm kind of surprised too. If you look at Limp's farm, I'm just looking over, and it is very low. He is not able, or he has not managed to get any other kind of items on top of that Helm of the Black Legion. He's sitting at about 2,200 gold right now, but yeah, dipping under 200 gold per minute this late. So. Kind of unfortunate if you really think about it. That's like Glacier status. Look at that, 150 gold per minute on Insania.
That's just embarrassing. Down there with Glacius. Yeah, he's not having the greatest time in terms of farm at least, but obviously more access even with the lack of farm. I mean, he's level 16. That Matrix, he still is a beefy presence in this fight.
Exactly.
So lack of farm, it really doesn't matter in that sense. He just pops that ultimate, and it makes it so like we can attack him, but then we don't want to. But yeah, so he can just walk around and do his thing. And actually, bringing that up, we don't mention this too much about more access, but his 3rd ability is affected by the amount of strength, or the max health, I should say. 60 plus 6% of target's maximum health in magic damage. So if he's actually using that on somebody like Warbeast, of course, at 3,200 life, it actually has more of an effect on him when you think about it. So something to keep in mind there.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Now the Brutalizer, I believe, was picked up by Zai playing this Wild Soul. Let me just double check if I can find his bear. He's been using this bear constantly, by the way, to push out other lanes. It's been in top lane this entire time. He has a demonic. He has a brutalizer also on that boo-boo, and that's going to wreck face, if I do say so.
Yeah. Kongor is somewhat being attempted here, and not really. I mean, they kind of go back and forth. Warbeast is sitting there, but it's not going to be nearly fast enough. Trademark I don't even know if they're fully aware, but I mean, they have an idea at least. They're in the vicinity. They know they have plenty of time, and Conqueror's not flying anytime soon. So they're just going to kind of hang out for a little bit to do some farming themselves, and really our Hellborn team in Orange, they're not committing to it either. Engineer's actually going to pick up a haste rune down here as he also does some counter warning. I mean, that goes back to Engineer. You mentioned earlier how it would be so nice to have a portal key on him, but it's not happening this game, man. I mean, he can't get any more farm than he is, and he's focusing more on the wards, as he really should, of course, with the little farm that he does have. But they're not going to do Kongor. Instead, Trainmark is actually going to threaten to push here, apparently. They're actually going to group up, and Boo Boo in the front lines, pushing with it. The Brutalizer picked up, actually, so he's now even more scary.
Yeah, I mean, the attack speed with the chance to proc on that bash is going to be very strong. And that's a smart decision from tdM. They wanted to pressure at least the mid lane. They don't want to contest them right into the Kongor pit, but they know that the top lane is constantly pushing, so instead of contesting them right in this kind of awkward area for them where they don't really have that much vision, they're just going to group up in the mid together and push that and force ORGE Esports to make it, to respond to that top lane, which is being pushed so heavily.
Yeah. We do have right now a case, again, a Trademark kind of at a indecisive moment. They're either waiting for a pickoff chance here in the middle, or maybe to see where Orange is, maybe try to catch them at Kongor. You see the Elementals just being sent around by Tempest right there, so getting some vision, seeing where the Hellborn team exactly is at, and Morax is going to be in the front lines. Maya towards the top lane even. Of course, there's no Rax up here to see it, but Magnus just stuns in right there. Shoo you, you're in trouble, buddy. Are we going to see a jump? Yes, we are. Silhouette jump, centering up a will hit. There's a Storm Spirit on him, so we got saved by his Bubbles teammate. It's not going to be enough, though. He eventually will fall. In the background, the chase is still on. Bubbles porting back to base, and everyone else running away. So that's the pick that they were looking for. Magnus cannot buy back, and they're going to go towards the middle lane. Energy Field going to come out, though. They catch more axes actually after the side. Warby's pounding damage into him, trying to finish him off before he gets the Matrix up. Not going to happen, though. It gets up. Tempest in the meantime being locked down. But oh, holy crap. Warby just explodes in thin air. He cannot buy back, and I think Trademark Esports has just sealed the victory for game number 1 right there.
Yeah, I mean, when you have no buyouts, a simple pickoff will end the game instantly. GG well played's come out.
There it is.
And tdM takes game 1 in a nice fashion here at the 57-minute mark.
Yeah, long game indeed. About an hour we got up to their 12, but man, Trademark Esports, of course, they deserve that victory. They should be happy after that. But I must say, Orange Esports, they had their chances to win that game. They just were simply not patient enough. And a little bit of tunnel vision as well, really got to them. So
I mean, I think the biggest thing is when they didn't even have that big of a gold lead when they were pushing the bottom lane, but they had so much gold hoarded up onto their heroes. I want to say it was a collective of something like 12K. It was ridiculous, and you need to utilize that gold before you actually push it into the base. And like I said, they didn't even have that much of a technical gold lead. So they just they played so well for so much of that game, and they just made some little poor decisions there towards the end that it ultimately cost them. So unfortunate, but well paid by tdM. It looked kind of rough there towards the middle of the game, but they pulled it together.
So it's kind of I guess a little different way to look at this, the cup half full or whatever. But so for Orange Esports at the same time, you realize that you had a game that you could have very likely won. So now you go into game 2, like, all right, we could have even won that first game, whatever. We lost it. Go on to game 2. Try to forget it. I know it's going to be easier to say than actually do, but move on to game 2 and realize that you can compete with these guys, and you could very likely even make the final still. But it is going to be a much tougher challenge now. Trademark Esports is a very, very good team, of course. As they showed once again right there, they persevere like Complexity has done from time to time. The best of the best, you've got to have your moments of perseverance, and Trademark Esports did that right there. So we are going to be taking a short break, as always, right here ourselves. So stay tuned, though, guys. We're going to have an epic game 2, I'm sure, coming up next. Orange Esports taking on Trademark. We'll be right back.
All right, guys. What we're going to do real quick is, I'm sorry we forgot to do it when the series started, but we're going to do what we've been doing, where you guys come down, you pick your player, you write down how many kills you think they're going to get in this next game. If you get the number right, you'll get a mouse signed by the player that